All right, so this one, hitting the jackpot in Powerball is not the only way to win a monetary prize. For example, a minimum award of $50,000 is given to a player who correctly matches four of the five numbers drawn from the 69 white balls and the one number drawn from the 26 red Powerballs. Now we're supposed to find the probability of winning this consolation prize and express the answer as a fraction. All right, so what do we have? Well, if we have five possible numbers, and we're just going to write numbers here, 3, 4, 5. If we've drawn this one, this one, this one, and this one, we've drawn four out of the five. Now, order doesn't matter. So the probability there is going to be, or the number of ways that happens is we're going to choose five out of five. We're choosing four of those. Okay. So we need to figure out that calculation. Now, how many ways is there to choose this last one? And again, order is not going to be mattering, but we don't have a total now of 69 balls. We have 69 minus 5. So now we've only got 64 balls left. So we're going to have 64 balls, and we're going to choose one of those balls. Okay, so that's going to give us this value. And then the last things we know about is we're going to draw the red Powerball, and there's only going to be one way we get that one right. We draw the red one. And so that's what it is. So what we need to do is we need to find this number and this number. We've got this number, and we're just going to multiply them all together once we have those first two. So let's go do that. And so now we're going to have, let's see, math, go over to probability, and we're doing C's. So we're going to do a 5, and then we're going to do a 4. And we get a 5 there. So we'll write that down. And then we're also going to do, now since we've got that up, let's put it over here. And the other one was going to be 64C1. So 64C1, that's 64. So now if we take 5 times 64 times 1, our last answer will be 320. So now we've got everything we need. This was a 5. This was 64. Then we have 5 and 64. And we multiply that all together, and we get 320. All right, so that's going to be the numerator, basically. So now what we need to do is we need to find out the denominator. Well, now we have what? Well, we need to figure out the total ways to choose those balls. So we're going to have 69C5, and then that's going to be times, well, there's 26 possible balls to choose from. And so if we multiply that by 26, that should give us the total number of ways, which is going to be our denominator. So our probability of our event then will be whatever that number is and 320 on top. So let's go figure that out. And what we'll do is we can do all the calculations while we're over there. So, all right, so let's clear that so we can see a little bit better. So now we're going to do math. We're going to go to number 3 again, and we're going to do 69, choose 5. And so that gives us that value. Now remember, we had that times 26. And so that gives us now the denominator. And so now we take 320, and we're going to divide it by, and let's say answer, because we want that answer. And we want it as a fraction. And so now we're doing all kinds of cool, fancy math stuff, but it's going to give us an answer. Well, guess what? It doesn't reduce nicely. So, but if we think about it, what do we have? We have an even number here. We have an even number here. So we can divide both of them by 2. So if we go back to this one times 26, and then we divide by 2, our denominator is going to be this. And our numerator is going to be 320 divided by 2, which is going to be 160. So now I've got all that written down. So let's go and write this down. So this was 292,201,338. And that was, again, 292 and 201,338. And we said if we divide that by 2, we get 160. And if we divided that one by 2, we get 146,100,669. And then that would be our answer. And because it says answer as a fraction, and they're going to want the reduced fraction. And this one is not going to be divisible by anything that one is. And so that will be our final answer for our probability. All right, so let's stop there, and we'll come back for some more.